All right, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling good about the month. I am. Anyways, let's look at NASDAQ. Wow. That daily candle. Guys, last Friday, we had this nasty sell off. I stopped trading at like 10 a.m., something around there. And I was like, damn, like, we already sold off quite a bit. I was already impressed with the sell off. And then I come back on Saturday or Sunday, I don't remember. And then I realized how far down we actually went. I did not think we sold off this much. Honestly, I thought we were about to sell off at least maybe down to here. And then I was like, if we get below here, then the next stop is down here. And that's exactly where it went to. But I did not expect we'd get down there in a matter of a couple hours. That was a very aggressive sell off, so I'm not surprised the market is pulling back now. But, anyways, just zooming out, I'm looking at support and resistance, right? We have this area of horrible line. We have this area of resistance up here and support slash resistance down here. It looks like we bounced off of this area. So I think the next stop is around this area, and we're either going to reject it and come back down or break past it, go to all time highs. That could happen. Won't be surprised. I mean, the trend is up, so anything could happen. But let's go on the 4 hour time frame and see what's going on. Of course, we created a bunch of supply zones on our way down, which is good. First time here, I'm excited. Welcome. Hopefully I win today. No. The point of the live stream is not to show you me winning trades because I lose sometimes. The point of the live stream is to show you the journey. And that comes with losses, wins. But as long as I follow my rules, my plan, eventually I will succeed. And that's the goal of the live stream. It's not for you to see me just win. It's also to show you the losses. Lonnie, help becoming a profitable trader. I keep blowing fundeds. Slow down. Take a second to analyze yourself. And that might be hard in today's world because there's so many distractions, right? So be aware of that. Take a second to talk to yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. That's the hardest thing about trading is to look at in the mirror. Actually ask yourself, what have I been doing wrong? What could I do better? Anyways, guys, if you hear barking, my mom is babysitting a baby and I don't know, the dogs are just going crazy. Well, one dog, the barker. So if you guys hear her, my bad. My bad. But hopefully not. Hopefully not. Does intraday drawdown trail affect you different from end of day on your trading? Oh yeah. Yeah, if I have intraday drawdown, I'm taking profit when I see it. I'm taking profit at like 1-to-1s or at least like locking it in. That's what I had to do when I first had the Apex accounts. I had intraday. And the way I got over that intraday buffer was taking profit at like 1-to-1s. Slowly doing that. Or just letting the trades play out. But if you want to be safer, I would say try to lock in profit as much as you can. Okay, we got this 1 hour supply zone. This is a pretty good pullback. I actually want to see how much we've moved ever since the open. Oh my god. Of course. That is okay. I did not expect that. We actually moved up quite a bit. We're already up 2.4% on the day, or 2,800 ticks. Yo, if this whole sell off gets recovered today, that'll be crazy. I'm not gonna lie though. This is, I don't know. I mean, there's a clear trend that could be good. We'll see how it opens. We'll see. Okay, let's see. Okay, I was also looking at this 45-minute supply zone, but we already closed above 50%. So I would expect this to come up to 774. I already broke past that zone. Wow. She's sassy. I don't know if you guys hear her barking. What strategy are you using? Supply and demand. 30-minute zone. This could also be a 30-minute zone here. I mean, it's not that good, but it has a continuation. This is also a 30-minute zone. I usually don't mark a zone within a zone, but for some reason, I want to mark this today. It just looks like a very strong zone. Let's see what else we got. We got this 15-minute demand zone. Okay, perfect. We also have this 15-minute supply zone, which is probably where I'll take the trade. How far away is it? Yeah, it's not too far away. I'll mark this as a 10-minute zone. Even though this candle hasn't closed, I mean, it only has a minute left. So I'm sure it'll close out strong. So I'll mark it down. I'm pretty sure we don't have any high impact news today. Let's take a look though. June 8th. Yeah. It looks like we only have CPI on Wednesday. And then some type of press conference at 10:30. Next week, I'm pretty sure, if not next week, then the week after is FOMC. I don't know. I don't like FOMC weeks. The past couple FOMC weeks, I've done pretty bad. But I did learn from them. Honestly, my goal for FOMC week is to trade at, that sounds so, as least, that's not right. Is to barely trade. That's my plan for FOMC week, is to barely trade. If I do trade, it'll probably be Thursday, Friday. But I think I'll still stream on Monday and Tuesday. I just probably won't trade like my funded accounts. Okay, I don't see any more zones. Yo, you guys could hear the barking. That sucks. How do you take entries when it breaks supply? Let me see. Hold up. Basically, I just kind of wait for a candle closing above the 50% line. I wait for like a break and retest. So something like this. I don't know why that drawed out like that. Why is it doing that? Something like this. Like a candle closing above the 50% line. The next candle kind of opens up, retest either the zone or the 50% line. And then I want to see like break the high. Something like that. Where's VWAP? Okay, cool. It looks like we only have London lows. If we zoom out though, which I do want to do. Okay, good. Yeah, I was looking around this area here. Kind of just support and resistance area, right? We had resistance back here. Broke past it, turned into support. Broke past it, could turn into resistance again. So I'll probably be looking at this area up here, the 800s, which that kind of looks like where it's headed towards. Let's look at US 30 after I drink this water because I feel dehydrated. Of course I feel dehydrated. I've been drinking coffee. And I went on a walk. Okay. Yeah, US 30 also had a very aggressive sell off. Of course, we have this supply zone right at all time highs. Let's see. Okay. Don't see too much. These candles are going to be massive. I mean, that could be good, right? Get in and out of a trade, either on a win or a loss. Yeah, you gotta be careful though. Like, if it's really volatile, you gotta be careful with your stop loss. Either size down or just have a really tight stop. Okay, I'm not seeing too many zones on US 30. Okay, this is good. This 30-minute supply zone. Retesting the gap now. I'm like, what gap is he talking about? But you're probably talking about FBG. Cool. Yeah, I'll probably be looking more at NASDAQ because I definitely have more zones on there. And it's still going up. Wow. No wonder I was seeing a lot of people posting about how they made money during Asia session. All you had to do was buy. Damn. No, the Asia session is actually very impressive. I don't think I've seen Asia session, not even Asia, just the whole overnight session move this much in a while. It moved up a lot. Which like usually I'd say, it's ready for a pullback. But I kind of was thinking that on Friday with the sell, I was like, oh yeah, we sold off overnight. Like we'll probably see a pullback or something. And we didn't. It did not pull back. It sold off even more. 3 minute. Okay. Trying to see if I missed out on any zones. Definitely trying to find a zone down here, but I don't see one. I mean, this could be a 1 hour zone. It's not that good, but I do like how the market bounced off of it. Okay, cool. Alright, I think that's it for all the zones. US 30 also moved a lot. Kind of. Let's see. Yeah. But it looks like US 30 is pulling back. YouTube has been hiding my comments. Glad you're finally able to see mine. This is Devin from the Discord group. Devin. Sounds very familiar. I think I know. I think I know. Yes, with the rats. Yes, I do. I do know who you are. Upset Assassin, yes. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was you, but now I know. Okay, that's good. There hasn't been no rat issues. I'm not surprised. I mean, you were getting them. You were getting them pretty good. Kind of reminds me of my dad how I have a couple rat stories where like he killed the rat with the chancla, with the sandal. I don't know how he does it, but he does. That's funny. We got what, 12 more minutes for market open. Let's see. I plan on being very patient today. I mean, this whole month. I'm planning on locking in. I want to see how Bitcoin looks. Let's see. Oh my god. Look at Bitcoin. Look at these session liquidity sweeps right to the tick. What the? I've never seen that. Look at this. Took out Asia highs, dropped. Took out London lows, pumped. That's like, whoa. That's pretty cool. Did anyone catch that? It's impressive. But yeah, the sell off was aggressive on Bitcoin as well. I mean, no surprise there. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I heard a couple people saying it's gonna test these lows. I won't be surprised. I mean, Bitcoin, if you look at the past, I think it's like 350 days or over of like bearish markets, and we still have, I think, 100 days left for the bearish market. But like, you never know, Never know. I want to double check US 30. I feel like I missed the zone. I probably didn't though. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see anything. It's really just like support or resistance. Was the indicator used to mark down the London session? It's called the ICT kill zones and pivots. Um, but when you use it, you can only see the indicator on the 30-minute time frame or lower. You can't see it on like a, like a 1 hour time frame. It has to be 30-minute or below. And then you can also you could go to inputs and you can change, like the colors of it, the timing of it, and you can also add like true day open. You can add other time frames for it to mark, and then you can change the color for it. So you can like kind of customize it a couple ways, which is cool. I think like that's the only ICT thing I use. 8 more minutes. I feel like I'm missing something. Mm. Earnings calendar. Let's see if there's any good earnings today. Diache, what the heck did I do? My bad. Yeah, see the thing with the dog. So we have a son, a daughter, and then the parents, and then all the girls, because we had a litter, and like all the girls that we had that I know of, they're all like very energetic. It's insane. And the boys are like more chill, more calm. And for some reason, the girl is always like, she's obsessed with the mom, the dog. And she's always trying to fight her. And like, she's sassy. That's what it is. She's sassy. And she can't sit still for long. So if you guys hear her barking, just know that's why. But like, you can't even get mad at a dog barking because they're being a dog. Can't do much. Earnings calendar whisper. Okay, let's see what we got. Fucking random companies. I don't think the earnings calendar matters today or this week. I mean, we got Campbell's. Like, what? That's so random. What the heck? Cracker Barrel. Ooh, I've heard about Cracker Barrel. Especially when they changed their logo and like they made it this whole thing. And they changed the logo again and the company like skyrocketed. It was crazy. But you know how much insider trading there had to be for that? Anyways, let's see. We got Chewy. I just saw a package of Chewy at someone's house. I don't know why that reminds me of that. Adobe. Everyone uses that. Cool. Hooker. I don't know what this is. I don't know. I don't know what they do with that company. I'm not sure. Let's see what else they got. Designer brands. Didn't even know that was a brand. Wow. What else we got? Vera Bradley. Okay, I've heard of that. And then I've heard of this as well. Cool. It's always interesting to see what stocks are actually a thing. It always impresses me. It's like, what? I didn't know that company had a stock. Like Cracker Barrel. I mean, you would have never thought they had a stock. I mean, I wouldn't have. And I eat there like a lot. And I never knew they had a stock until recently. Pretty cool. Really quick, can you tell me how you got the live screen saver for your PC? The live screen saver. Like the background? Like this? I got that from It came with the monitor. The Asus brand? The Asus brand? I guess since I have parts of it, it came with the computer. And see, I can't even explain it because I don't even really know. But it came with the computer. It was free because of Asus. You know, like the way where you control the Asus stuff. Like you can control the motherboard and the lighting. There was a section for like life. I can't even talk because of it. The screensaver. There was a section for it, and this was the best one because it changes colors. That's why I picked it. Yo, no, she's something. What? We got 3 more minutes for market open. I was gonna say something, I forgot. Oh, the UFC White House event. Is anyone excited for that? I am. I'm definitely excited for it. Is it really for Trump's birthday though? My brother told me that and I was like, I'm not surprised. White House UFC. Wow, it is. Yo, it says somewhere. Oh, I guess they're getting sued because the event is being run by UFC and is a celebration of the UFC and of Trump's birthday instead of the country. Mm, is adding up. Yo, I'm not surprised. That reminds me of that Sean Strickland stuff. If you know, you know. Like, what? That's crazy. I'm not surprised it's on his birthday or for his birthday. Because I thought it was weird that it was on a Sunday. His 80th birthday? No way. He's 80? He does not look 80. Okay, wow. I mean, I guess he does look 80, but uh damn. I didn't think he was that old. Maybe I did. I don't know. It's just when I think about an 80-year-old, I think, they're retired, could barely walk. There's no way he's 80. Is he really? We got 20 seconds. Wow, he is turning 80. June 14th. Wow, that's crazy. Did not think Trump was 80 years old. Now I know. He's definitely not retired. Here's the market open. I want to wait for at least the first 1 minute candle. Oof. I like this US 30. Let's see how this candle closes. US 30 broke past these zones. Yeah, and it's already, this shit already left. So I won't get back in long unless it retests this zone and then goes back up. Let's see. Definitely close bullish. I want to see if it retests the zone. It might not though. It might just leave. Okay, yeah, it just left to the next zone. I'm surprised Nasdaq has barely moved. All right. Yeah, I didn't really get a retest of the zone, so I didn't buy it. Damn, this shit is just leaving. Oh my gosh. That it's out. It's out. Dude, I could have just really FOMO'd into the trade and I would have won it. Let's see. Okay, Nasdaq is about to tap this 10-minute zone. Let's see what happens off of that. Nasdaq definitely looks like it has lower volume right now compared to US 30. US 30 retested the zone right here. I'm also just looking at Nasdaq because it looks like it's gonna close below 475. It's already gone. Wow. Sit retest. All right, I'm in a short on Nasdaq. I'm gonna aim for this 50% line of this demand zone. Wow. US 30 sold off as well. It's definitely very volatile. I'm gonna break even here. It already tapped the zone, so it could be a take profit around here. Definitely could bounce. Yeah, I got stopped out break even. There's the bounce. Wow, very volatile. Definitely got to be careful. Definitely got to make sure you get a good entry. Yeah, I'm glad I broke even on that. Wow, look at the wick on US 30. Nasdaq looks like it retested the zone. I'm trying to see if it rejects it again or if we just keep going up. But I'm thinking it'll sell off again if we break this 1 minute wick here. Let's see. All right, I'm in another short on Nasdaq. Yeah, I'm expecting this to go back down to the zone here. Very volatile. Okay, I got stopped out of that. Wow, the longs are coming. I'll take one more trade, but I definitely gotta be patient for it because it's moving fast. Damn, I like the shorts still. Unless we close above 75. All right, I'm in another short. I'm gonna try it out one more time. Might regret this, but I like this retest. It looks like we retested the zone and we have a clean rejection off of it. The only thing is the stop loss might be too tight for the volatility. Let's see. I definitely want to see this break the lows, which it's struggling to. So I got stopped out. Damn, that's tough. That is tough. I'm getting chopped. US 30 still selling off. I think that was the best play. US 30 shorts. If you didn't take the long. I don't know. I'll only be thinking longs if it closes above 475. Like it definitely could go back down here to this wick, but it's very choppy around this area. Trying to see if this taps this 5 minute zone. I was thinking longs if it closed above 75, but it just ripped right past it. Crazy. Okay, here's kind of the retest of the zone. This is gonna be the 15-minute candle. On NASDAQ and US 30, it closed out with huge wicks. Yo, why is she barking? Yeah, there's a 15-minute candle. Not the best 15 close. I'm trying to see if it bounces from this area. Since we got a retest here, this will be my last trade. So it could go pretty good or pretty bad. Okay, there we go. I'm in a long on NASDAQ. I definitely think this could go to this 5 minute supply zone. It's just, can it get there before I get stopped out? Damn. Wow, I'm getting chopped. I'm donezo. I'm donezo. It's like, damn. Damn. I There was so many good trades that happened so quickly. I was like, okay, it's moving quick, so let me not be hesitant with the entries. The only way I could have gotten good entries was by placing orders, which I don't do. Wow. How big is this opening range? Yeah, huge. Lots of volume. Like on US 30, I was like, okay, if it closes above 130, it'll go up here. So let me wait for the candle to close above it. And I did, and I was like, okay, great. Let me wait for a retest. It never happened. So I was like, damn, I missed it. Okay, fine. Then over here, I could have taken short, but I was like looking at NASDAQ. So I took the short on NASDAQ, which technically I could have maybe taken profit around that like a 1-to-1. So I knew it could have bounced here, but I was like, it could go down a little bit more. No, I got stopped at break even. So I was like, okay, we're just retesting this air and we'll come back down to the zone. Let me take a short. Got stopped out, got wicked out. So okay, we're just retesting again. And it was great because we had this good push down, zero continuation of it. Immediately got stopped. So I was like, okay, I rarely take a fourth trade, but I'll take it today. And I was like, okay, we closed above this zone here, so we're most likely gonna go to this next one, this 5 minute zone, which, yeah, I still would have thought we went up there. And then I waited for the retest right here. I don't want to say it was a late entry, but like the only way I could have really gotten a good entry, again, if I placed the order down here, which I don't place orders. Not really, not all the time. And then straight back down. That is tough. The stop loss definitely looks smaller because of all the volume that there is. I'm not surprised that I got stopped out because when the first 15-minute candle closes out with a huge wick, you could expect some bullshit. I'm not gonna lie. That's exactly what I got. I think there's really great volume. There's a lot of opportunity, at least right now. But you have to be careful. Like you could be right on the idea, but just the timing, it could be slightly off, and then you'll be wrong. Damn. I'm very I'm like not prepped for this volume. Even if I sized down and had a wider stop, I would have lost on the trades unless I got really good entry, but that didn't happen. It's kind of hard unless you place orders. That's tough. I can't even be upset though. I usually win before 10 or I lose before 10. And it's great when I win before 10. But when you lose before 10, it's like, damn, there's so much more that's going to happen. But it makes sense. Like, it's the time window. So I can't even be like, oh, I finished too early because I didn't. I mean, that's kind of what I always do. I will say I definitely will trade US 30 this week. You just have to be quick with the entries. With US 30, it's like, oh, okay, never mind. With US 30, it's like, especially with these openings, you kind of have to place the orders and just be like, if it gets above this, I think it'll get to the next zone. So if you do what I did, you miss out on the move like that, like very quickly. That is that's tough. That's tough. Now I know though, probably the west. The rest of the week probably will stay like this volatile. Now I know to definitely be quicker with the entries. Yeah, for sure. I don't plan on widening the stops. I don't plan on doing that, but the entries do have to be better. Like, yeah. For all these entries, they would have played out. If they were better, they weren't though. Tough day. Tough day, but it's part of the game. Unfortunately, that's tough. And here it is, going to the 5 minute zone. Definitely got a journal today. Because I do think the rest of the week will be this volatile. I do. Especially since it's FOMC next week. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. Because it's probably like the 17th, I think. Let's see. Yeah, on the 17th. So I won't be surprised if this week is like very volatile and then next week it'll slow down Monday and Tuesday. And then Thursday and Friday, boom, back to it. This is definitely like a the best move is always as soon as possible. Or at least that's what I think. Like if you look at US 30 and Nasdaq, the smoothest moves happen in the beginning. Like this first aggressive sell-off on Nasdaq and the aggressive buy and sell-off on US 30 within the first 10 minutes. I would say be careful right now until it gets outside of the opening range. It's a lot of weird price action now within the range. I think once it breaks the opening range, it'll be smooth, which I definitely think it will because there's good volume. Now it just kind of needs to find direction because it's moving sideways. Yeah. Stop loss is 100 ticks. Be careful this week with SpaceX IPO. Lots of deals being made. That's not on the calendar, so size down. Yeah, something's definitely going on. You're definitely going to trade after you close the live. Nah, it's not worth it. Maybe, maybe before, like maybe a evalve, but I've already kind of learned why not to do that. When I trade on the stream, I trade like my A plus setup, or I try to. So it's kind of pointless of me to trade after I stream, unless it's a eval. I know how to accept losses, so I know how to stop. It's not that hard to just stop. You work on other things. Wow. See, if I was still to trade, I'd take the short. If I was still trading, but it has to retest either the opening range or this 50% line, which it kind of already did. Let's see if it actually sells off. I would expect this to come down to 245 since it's breaking this zone here. Yeah, I'll definitely be trading US 30. There's been really good plays on US 30 within the first 5 minutes. It's pretty impressive. Shit, good for me. Now I just know if I see a setup on US 30, you gotta be quick with it. You gotta be quick with it. It happens way too quickly, which is good because you can hit TP quick, but if you miss it, you miss it. Let's see if the short really plays out. I mean, I'm thinking it will. Like, there's really good volume. Here's the 10 a.m. candle. We also have a 5-minute candle outside of the opening range. So we've already broken it, which is good. Yeah, it definitely got chopped. I'm not gonna lie. I would say I was too slow. I was too slow today, especially with US 30. Dang. Maybe I could have taken this short on NASDAQ, but at the time I didn't have this zone marked out, this 5-minute supply zone. I really did not see that. But the shorts did come off of it. Market opened, went straight to the zone. Technically, I could have gone in short right here, and that would have played out nice. That would have played out in one candle. Same thing with US 30, but it was just the longs. It would have played out in one candle, which is crazy. Tough day for me, but I do think it's a really good market, like with the volume wise. Short it there. Nah, I've already hit daily loss limit. I'm done, so just gotta wait for tomorrow. Which is fine. It's just Monday. Still got a lot of days left. Um, let's see. I mean, there's really not much for me to do. When I do lose though, I don't like journaling right away. I like journaling like a couple hours later cuz I like to see if I could have done something differently and then also from a different perspective. Like later in the day, I won't be as upset at taking the losses, I'll be at a different headspace. So that's why I like to journal later on the losing days. But yeah, I would say today like the entries were definitely late. Um which is normal. Damn, I can't even focus with her barking. It's kind of normal to get late entries with such a volatile market. But yeah, I would say that I got late entries and I missed out on a couple trades on US 30. Yeah, I would say that. And then, I mean, technically, I kind of took this trade here, maybe too close together. But sometimes, like, that's just how it is. You kind of get an entry confirmation right after you get stopped out. And you think, oh, maybe I just got wicked out. Let me try it again. That's exactly what I did. And I got stopped. And I was like, okay, we bounced off of this 30-minute zone. We're most likely going to go up to this next zone, this 5-minute zone. Let me long it. And the same thing, like the entry was pretty late. If I had gotten the entry down here, which the only way I would have gotten the entry, only if I placed the order, which I don't do that because I kind of like to wait for confirmation. And sometimes that's bad because you miss the move. Like these longs. Dang. Now I know that I think I learned a lot today with US 30. Definitely need to be quicker with the openings because the moves happen quicker. And yeah, I've seen this pattern a lot with US 30 where it has a really nice move in the beginning and then it slows down. I think it does it on purpose. Honestly, I think it makes sense. Cause it's like you get people excited with the volatility and then you slow down the market so people easily get chopped up. Bruh, she's going crazy. Um, but yeah, I'm a I'm a walk away. I'm a walk away. I won't be trading after stream. I don't think it's even worth it for me. I'll happily take my L today. You can't be a good winner without being a good loser. That's just how it is. The good thing about me is I don't just trade, right? I do content. I mentor certain people. So the good thing is that I actually have stuff to do after trading, which is good. I think it's good to keep busy, to stay busy after trading. Honestly, I think it's really good for people that have jobs outside of trading if you really enjoy the job, because it's like you have another income source besides trading, so you don't really have to stress on your losses. For example, if you are a hustler, like you love being on the grind, you love putting in the work, you can't do it on the charts. You just can't. If you take a loss and you're thinking, "Oh my gosh, I need to hustle my way out of this loss," you overtrade and then you end up losing even more. So you can't really hustle with trading. You can't have that mindset, which is why I always tell people like you should do something besides trading on top of it, you know? You have to stay busy throughout the day. You can't just be thinking, "Damn, like I lost today. I got to keep trading or I got to stay on the charts," cuz it doesn't work that way. You It's about probabilities at the end of the day. If you include probabilities in your trading, you'll understand losses is part of the game. Taking certain losses in a row is part of probabilities. That's how it is. But yeah, you can't have a hustler mentality with trading. You kind of got to have like a, not a go with the flow, but like, like a hopeful mindset of just like, damn, I took my loss, but I followed my plan, so it's fine, type of thing. But yeah, no, I would say I did all right. I would say today is like, I think it's gonna be a hint to how the rest of the week is gonna be. I wouldn't be surprised if the rest of the week is this volatile. I just hope most of the moves don't happen overnight. If a lot of the moves happen overnight, I don't know. I feel like it's mostly choppy during New York, unless it's like a crazy volatile day like Friday. That was crazy. It's crazy because the sell off was aggressive overnight and it continued throughout the day. That's why it was so impressive. But that was it for me. I hope you guys caught a better move than I did. There was definitely a couple of moves the first 10 minutes. But I would say it was very easy to get chopped up today as well. Like after the sell off. Especially on US 30. US 30 is, I don't know. It's moving sideways now, which sucks. But yeah, there's good opportunity today. Good volume. What is that US 30 movement? I think US 30 forgets it's open sometimes. Especially last week. Last week it was like it didn't even know it was open, type of thing. Never trading Fridays again. Yo, I like Fridays. Oh my god, a sell off Friday. Bro, I'm telling you. It's so weird. Every no, okay, not every time, but a lot of aggressive sell-offs in the market are on Fridays. I forgot the reason for that. There was a reason for it. I just forgot it. I think it was something about like option contracts expiring. So it's easier for the market to sell off on Fridays. Yo, this girl is crazy. She's been nonstop barking. I gotta take her on a walk. Like, I gotta tire her out. She has insane energy. I blew 1900 profit on Friday and an account too. Damn. Go back and journal it. Try to see how you could have taken, I don't know, a better trade. That's what I'm gonna do later today. I mean, I kind of already know kind of what I could have done better. Um but yeah, the best thing is like not to really dwell on the losses, not to stay stuck on them. And if you stay stuck on your losses, I promise you it's not worth it. I promise you. Or if you're like overthinking your trading, which I did a lot last year. I overthink a lot, especially on the losses. It was like, I don't know, it was bad. Cause then it like messes up your mindset, you know? Over trading, oversizing. I was taking minis instead of micros. Damn. At least you know what you did. Lucid Flex or Tradeify Select. I would say Tradeify Select because you could select your option, you know? And I think the payout cap is bigger on the select accounts if you choose the I think it's called like the flex option. I'm not sure. But you know, the other option besides the daily payouts, that option. Wow, the market slowed down. I mean, this is just chopping people up after such an aggressive move and such an aggressive pre-market session. Like what? This is why I don't like when the market moves a lot overnight because it's kind of rare for it to continue that volume during New York Open every time. Okay, not every time, but a lot of the time. Trade on took on Friday. It was micros. If it was micros, sorry, I zoned out on the words. Like what? Sorry, I was overthinking. Yo, you guys know when you're reading something, but you're not really reading it? Or am I the only one? Like, I struggled with that in school. Like, I'd be reading a book, but I wouldn't be like processing the information. Maybe that's just me. I really gotta focus when I read. The trade I took on Friday, if it was micros, it would have made me a lot of money. I was trading with the trend, but with oversizing. Yeah, it's like you can be right on the direction, but if your stop loss is too tight, then you'll be wrong on the trade. Trading has never been easier for retail traders because of prop firms. You don't need a winning strategy to make money. You can gamify your way to profitability. What do you mean by gamify? Are you meaning like gambling? See, that's the thing. If you gamble your way, if you gamble your way to a payout, are you actually able to repeat it? To repeat your, getting a payout? You won't know because you're gambling. Unless you have a specific way of gambling, unless you have, a specific way, like a specific system or a specific strategy, then you can repeat it. then you can repeat what you did on that, that last payout. But if you don't know what you did, you don't know if you can actually repeat it. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's like when you gamble your way into passing an eval. You pass it by gambling, and then once you get funded, you're questioning your ability to get the payout. You're like, damn, can I actually get this payout? You don't know because you kind of gambled your way to passing the account. That's the only thing with trading on why you can't really gamble. You can't really do what you want. If you do what you want, you're trading based off of how you feel. And how you feel isn't consistent. We're human. So our emotions are like roller coasters, throughout the year, throughout the day. You don't you have promos with Funded Futures Family? I don't. The only reason I don't have a code with Funded Futures Family is just cuz of their history. And the history with its previous owners. I do think FFF is a good prop firm, but I just don't want to affiliate myself with them because long term, I'm not sure if they're gonna last. Again, like because of the owners, I don't know. So I don't feel comfortable like promoting it. Also, I've only spoken to one person, and the issue that she had was something about she used different cards to pay for her account. It's like she couldn't get the payout, something like that. Something weird. And I don't know, that kind of scared me away from the prop firm. But I do think they have good rules. I just won't, promote them because I don't really trust them. You can't gamble in trading, you will get cooked up real quick. You can get lucky one or two times. Yeah, you could get lucky. And I think it's dangerous. I think it's dangerous to get lucky. I'm not gonna lie. Because if you get lucky, then you think you got it all figured out. When in reality, you don't even know what you did. So I do think it's dangerous to get lucky with trading. Because then you'll actually be pretty delusional. If you have been an unprofitable trader for months or years and you keep blowing accounts and losing money, what should you do? Number one, I would say look at what you're doing. There has to be a certain pattern that you're repeating that is leading you to get, blown accounts and no payouts. There has to be a pattern, or a cycle. And that might be like, self sabotage most of the time. It might be a pattern of over trading, over leveraging, or a pattern of you not looking at the markets in a consistent way or strategy hopping, There has to be some type of pattern that you keep repeating that is causing you to blow accounts left and right. And nothing changes if nothing changes, right? If you really want a different result, if you want to break out of that pattern, you have to change something. And you might know what that is, right? You might know. A lot of us traders know when we're doing something wrong, yet we still do it. I mean, we feel it in our stomach, you know? Or like, we feel it. And yet we still kind of do what we're not supposed to do. And when you do that, you're kind of training your body, your mind to do it again. So it's easier to do the bad things again. But there has to be a day where you're like, bro, I can't do this anymore. I can't repeat the same mistake anymore because it's not worth it. But yeah, find the pattern that you keep repeating and then change it. It's gonna take time. Like it took time for me to accept losses. I mean, it's even still kind of hard to this day to fully accept them, but since I do it, it's like kind of easier, because I'm used to it. How do you manage intraday trailing drawdown when your prop firm does not allow micro scalping? Well, micro scalping is probably like a 10-second trade, right? Or less. So like let your trade play out a little bit longer than the time, that you're supposed to, and then take profit. But systemize your trading. Like don't do it random. That's what I did with the when I had trailing drawdown. I just wait for a 1-to-1 and start trailing it. Like if you hit your 1-to-1 and then you break even, you still lost money on your drawdown because it's trailing it. So you might as well like try to lock something in. Is there a bearish flag on US 30? I would. Oh, maybe yeah, on the bigger time frame, on the 5 minute. But it's I don't know. It's very choppy. That's the thing. I wouldn't take the bearish flag if it stays choppy, because you need really good volume in order to take the short. It needs volume to push through this. I'd wait for that. If you see volume kick in, then I'd go for it. But if it stays slow like this, I'd be careful. What is the best of the best in the industry right now? Like prop firm wise, I would say Tradeify, which I have to add on my banner. I just realized that. Guys, I used to have my Tradeify code as up because Lonnie wasn't available. And then I kept getting a lot of people DMing me that there was fake accounts of me on Instagram. So I emailed Tradeify and I was like, can you check who has code Lonnie? Because it's most likely like, a fake Instagram account trying to be me. And they were like, we'll look into it. And 2 weeks later, they gave me my code Lonnie. So someone was faking my code with a fake Instagram account. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? There has to be some sort of some sort of side hustle that people do that actually do that. It's crazy. You would have never thought of that. But anyways, back to the question. I would say Tradeify, Lucid, Top Step, Alpha Futures. I would say those are like the top 3, top 4. Funded is good as well. They are kind of new to the future space, but their forex space, they've been there for a while. It's kind of the same thing as Alpha Futures. Same thing. They were for a while they were a futures prop firm, which they still are, but now they're also a futures prop firm. How old are you? 21. Pretty young, pretty young. I'm young, but I would say I'm pretty wise for my age. I think I've always kind of been that way too. Like in school, did not like my classmates. I thought they were all immature. So I was very quiet, very lonely in school. Cause they were just on some bullshit. So I've always kind of been this way, but also ever since I was young, the ultimate goal was to get rich somehow. you know? And I mean, you need to learn a high income skill. And I learned trading. It wasn't the first thing I went for. My first business was when I was 17. So my mom helped me out with that. And I failed. But if I didn't try at that age, I wouldn't be here right now. Don't use intraday. Yeah. I would try to avoid intraday as much as you can, even if it's a cheaper option. This is what I've learned from life as well. If you go with the cheaper option, most of the time it's actually the more expensive option, like with intraday. For example, and I'll give a trading example, with intraday, it's a cheaper account, but it's much harder to succeed with. So, like, in some ways, kind of more expensive. And in real life, it's like if you go with the cheaper option, for example, random example, but it's the most recent one I could think of. Um, I was traveling with some people and the suitcase broke. They packed it so much that the suitcase popped. It popped open because they stuffed it too much. And instead of buying a new suitcase, they decided to wrap, use a suitcase strap where you just strap up the suitcase. They decided to do that instead of buying a new suitcase. So they spent money on the suitcase strap, but they still have to buy a new suitcase. So in reality, they spent more money doing the cheaper option. And I mean, you can kind of there's so many more examples to that. For example, I mean, if you have a cheaper option with, I don't know, let's say getting your car fixed. Getting your car fixed. Let's go with that example. If you go with a cheaper option, I don't know, maybe it's a cheaper part or a cheaper service for your car. Eventually it's going to either wear out quicker or they're going to do a horrible job, you know? And it's going to come out more expensive in the future. Now, I'm not saying choose the more expensive choice every time, but you do have to think about choosing the cheapest option because there is some downside to it. So I don't know. I've learned to just kind of be not fruitful, but just kind of not also going with the more expensive option all the time, but weighing out the pros and cons between them and not always choosing the cheapest option because it's cheaper for a reason. Like with the intraday, it's cheaper for a reason. It's harder for you to succeed with it. So they make it cheaper. So more people could buy it and fail off of it. Intraday is bad. Like I bought some take profit traders on sale. Past that, it was ass on the funded. Yeah, take profit trader. I feel like okay, take profit trader is very good company, very good prop firm. But what I hate about them is that they don't advertise or even kind of mention that you will have intraday on the funded phase. They kind of just always mention end of day because what they show you is the eval. That's like all they show you on the website. Unless you go to the FAQ section, then you find out that once you get funded, you have intraday. That's the only thing I don't like about take profit traders is that they don't really talk about it. So it's like I don't know. It's not only happened to me, but so many other traders where they find out very quickly that it's intraday once you get funded. Yo, 21 Unk status. That's funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't want to answer this question because I don't want to get banned. I don't want to pull a Sean Strickland. But someone asked, in your opinion, is being Jewish an advantage or a disadvantage for a beginning trader? I would say it doesn't matter unless they have like, some type of insider trading. Then of course they have an advantage. But like if they're just a regular person, then they don't have any advantage. They're just like us. I think. I think. I don't know. I think. That's funny. Yo. I don't know why I'm thinking about that. See, I'm thinking about that Super Bowl commercial that was bringing awareness for how you know the little hat people get bullied, and it's like the little hat people don't get bullied for bad reasons. Kind of. Anytime I hear someone kind of bullying, a little hat person, it's because they're saying that they're rich because they, got the little hat. It's nothing bad, you know? Like I wouldn't mind getting bullied because people say I'm rich or something. I wouldn't mind. But I was just thinking about that. Anyways, I'm excited for this UFC fight. Who's fighting? Let me see. Who isn't fighting? That's the thing. Okay, let's see. Card. Insane lineup for this UFC fight or UFC event. Wait a second. That's not real. UFC. Is that this weekend? I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's not. June 20th. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Freedom. Yeah, June 14th. And it's on a Sunday, which I thought it was weird because usually it's on a Saturday. Anyways, I mean, insane lineup. We got Ilya versus Justin, Alex. I'm not sure who this guy is, but I do know Alex. And then Sean O'Malley. Crazy. And then I really don't know the rest. I only know like the famous one. Michael Chandler. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was fighting. Crazy lineup though. I definitely want to see Alex and Sean. You know what I think about Alex Pereira? His last fight where he lost, I think that was fake. There's no way he lost that fight, right? There's no way. I think he lost because of the bets, the sports betting. Everyone was betting for him to win, of course. Look at him when he fights. He's crazy. I think that's why he lost was because of the money. I have nothing to back that up. It's just in my head. Just an idea that would kind of make sense. I mean, you never know. That's the thing. But yeah, I was just thinking about that. You guys think he'll win? I think he will. If it's a real fight, he will. Yeah, I only know like the famous fighters. I really don't know those smaller ones or the other fighters. Yeah, it's gonna be a really good event. I can't wait. That's the thing. I was wondering because it's called like the White House event, or now that I'm looking at it, it's called Freedom. But I thought it was called the White House event. I don't know why. Maybe I heard that somewhere. I don't know. And are they doing it? They're not doing it at the White House because then they won't have an audience. John and Dana are feuding over his contract. I'm not surprised. I mean, have you guys heard about like how much they get paid for the fights versus how much the UFC makes? It's crazy. You know what fight really upsetted me that I knew was gonna happen was that Ronda Rousey fight. I knew Ronda Rousey was gonna do that shit. You know why? Because the girl Ronda Rousey was fighting wasn't even trained on wrestling. How? Why did they even fight? I feel like Ronda Rousey should have fought someone better. I'm sorry, but like, how are you gonna like what? I already knew it was gonna happen. Ronda Rousey is a wrestler, right? She knows how to take you down. That's her. That's Ronda Rousey. That's how she was created. It was by wrestling. And then you match her up with someone that has never trained with any type of wrestling. Uh, Once I heard that she didn't know how to wrestle, I knew it was over. I knew it. I should have betted money on it, but I was like, no. I've never betted money on like sports or anything. I waited for hours just for it to submit her in 15 seconds. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I mean, it's not surprising because, again, like the other girl didn't know how to wrestle. But yeah, that fight upsetted me. I'm glad I didn't stay up to watch it late. I just saw it on Instagram and I was like, that was it? Damn. Talking about that Netflix fight, you know what I think is a little bit weird about these Netflix fights? I'm not sure why they do it, but with the Netflix fights, it's like okay, it's like Jake Paul is like Dana White in a way, with UFC cuz they always show Jake Paul. Maybe it's cuz he has a lot to do with, the Netflix fighting scene. I could see that. But it's just kind of weird that they always like show him and then he talks in the ring as well, like Dana White kind of. I don't know, I always thought that was a bit weird. But I guess it kind of makes sense. Like he was one of the first fighters on Netflix. Yo, that reminds me of that Mike Tyson fight with Jake Paul. Horrible fight. Horrible fight. Come on. Come on. They made Mike Tyson seem like a beast in the trailers. And then when he actually fought, it was like, why is he even in the ring? Why? For the money. That's it. But like that makes me think about the sports betting in a way, because it's like in the trailers they made Mike Tyson seem like, he was boom boom bow, very strong, very quick, like he was hitting the bag like insane. So people, of course, I mean, he's gonna beat Jake Paul. Of course he is. Look at him training. So everyone's betting on Mike Tyson, and then when he fights, it's like that was it. Everyone that betted on him wiped away. But I guess it was cool to see him back in the ring, I guess. But it was kind of sad at the same time because he wasn't really fighting like before. Of course he's not, but like I feel like he was too, not old, but just like too out of it to be in that fight. But I'm not surprised. I mean, shit, I would have done it too for a couple million. Are you crazy? Andrew Tate. Yeah, the Andrew Tate fight. I mean, that was sad as well. Can you bet? Could you have betted on the Andrew Tate fight? You probably could have. I'm not surprised if you couldn't, but yeah, the Andrew Tate fight was pretty sad. I mean, I don't know. Like he trains every day. He's very macho, very fit. I would have thought Andrew Tate was gonna win. I definitely would have. But at the same time, like the other guy was just basically in his prime. I don't think the other guy would have won if Andrew Tate was like in his prime. But yeah, these fights with older retired fighters and then like a newer fighter, I understand it. I understand like you want to see that old fighter fighting again, but at the same time, like they're not gonna be the same as before. Ooh, but you know what fight would be good? What's his name? Johnny Bones? What's his real name? I forgot. You guys know him. John Jones. John Jones. I would see that fight for sure. Even though he's older. Definitely a choppy day. I'm considering buying more evals at Lucid and Apex. I would go with Lucid. If you're gonna go with Apex, I'd get 5 accounts or less. Unless you've never gotten a payout with Apex, then I'd go for like whatever. But if you already have a couple of payouts with Apex, I wouldn't get 20 accounts because they might move you to live before you get the payout. John Jones too scared to fight anyone. Yeah, I understand. I understand why, because he's built such a good record about his fighting. I mean, he's rarely lost. I would be scared to mess up my record as well. Especially if like I'm older, I'm not really training as much. I don't blame him for not fighting anymore. Don't blame him. Because the thing with fighters is like you could have all the support, and then like once you lose, it's like your support just disappeared. With fighters, that's how it is. Unless you're like McGregor and you have that personal brand and you have that personality, then you won't fall off. Because that's what happened with McGregor. Even though he lost, he was still McGregor. He still had that personality. He already built his brand, and he was still himself. With Ronda Rousey, when she lost, her personality like went to zero because that was her personality, was just kind of like, winning the fights, being the winner. But when she lost, like she kind of lost that, and she lost a lot of fans. It makes sense. I'm thinking of Max getting 5 to 10 accounts on Apex because the new live program coming up. Same, same. Yeah, I'm thinking of getting 5 accounts with Apex, which honestly I could do today. Just pass them really quick. I feel like that's what ruins any fighting sport. They're too scared to lose the zero. Yeah. Yeah, like the girl Ronda Rousey fought. I forgot her name. The one she just fought. I saw the Netflix, trailer, and it said that she had a she had 7 winning games. What am I saying? 7 winning fights, and then I think on the 8th she lost her first fight, and she stopped after that, and like that was it. I feel like if she kept going and maybe like got another one, like she would have been more successful. I mean, she still was successful with those acting stuff, but you know, I'd be scared to lose a fight too. I'm not gonna lie. I can't even talk about them because I'd be scared too. I'd be really scared to get like a cut on my face. Oof. Yeah, that'd be scary. Like seeing someone else, getting cut in a fight doesn't really scare you too much, but like if that was you in the ring, it'd be something else. It'd be like shitting your pants, never fighting again. I definitely think it takes a certain person to get in the ring. That's funny though. Isn't the Apex sale almost over? Let's see. I mean, I don't think it's over, but it'll probably be extended or it'll come up again once they hit a certain milestone or like on the next holiday. I won't be surprised if they bring it back, or it'll be like an 80% off type of thing. I have one funded on the way to second payout, still waiting for the first payout. I had a question. If I keep my risk low, am I not able to pass the account? And when I risk more, I lose the account. Hmm. Um, what's your question? If I keep my risk low, I'm not able to pass the account. And when I risk more, I lose the account. I would say like kind of be in the middle, but I don't know how much you're risking per trade, what account. So I really don't know. It depends. They already extended it. True, true. They did extend the sale. They'll probably drop it for a little bit, yeah, like to 80, 70%. But then eventually they'll bring it back. I feel like they always do. But all right, that was it for me. Wow, US 30. Mm-mm-mm. Nasdaq looks a little bit better. It definitely slowed down quite a bit, especially on US. Look at the 5 minute time frame on US 30. I mean, it's pretty bad. I'm not surprised though, because it moved so much overnight. Or sorry, not overnight, but just during the pre-market, we had a pretty big move. Nasdaq, kind of the same thing. Even though it looks a bit better, technically it really hasn't moved much from where the market opened up. Yes, there was really great volume, great moves. There's also no direction once the market has opened up, you know? Like there's kind of no trend. Unless we continue to really go up here. Which if we do, I'd watch out for this 776 area. I'll definitely be paying attention to that tomorrow to see if we do tap this area, if we reject it or get over it. I think it'll be a really good hint to if we're gonna go to all-time highs soon or go lower. I think it'll give you a good hint. But right now we're still pumping higher. So great recovery from that sell-off that happened on Friday. I mean, pretty crazy recovery. Overnight as well. Overnight. Yeah, that's the only bad thing about when the market moves a lot overnight. It's like if you didn't trade the overnight session, you'll kind of be upset with the New York session. Who was the favorite in the chat? I would say everyone, everyone. Mostly traded London and New York session, 30-minute during Chicago Open. Chicago Open. Wow, I haven't heard that. It makes sense though. Makes sense. Top Step is located in Chicago. I want to go to Chicago. That'd be cool. I heard it's a really cool city. Sometimes a decent trade at market open 5 p.m. But it's also messy and very yeah. I feel like the opening is choppy unless there is a lot of market opens um at 6 p.m. Eastern where it's a crazy open.